Sometimes when you're very strong but you have a really low IQ like me, this happens. You just break stuff. That handle used to go on this saw blade. The blade itself is still good. It still has a lot of life in it, so I wanted to repurpose it. I happen to have this piece of, I think this is hickory from another handle that I needed to make a different handle for something with. So I've been able to turn this in to kind of a folding saw. Kind of. We're still working out the details. But most importantly, this is going to be much better for pruning that I need to do right now than no handle at all. But before I really rip my hands up on this super rough surface, I need to smooth this out. But since I'm just getting a workshop established, I don't really have a ton of tools right now, and I don't feel like running out to the store. But I did find this Dremel wrench that has been stamped out of a piece of steel. And because it's stamped, one edge is rounded, and then there's a burr on the other edge. And this is pretty common for most things like this that are just stamped out of a piece of steel. You'll have that burr hanging off that you can really feel if you run your finger along it like that. And this reminded me of when I used to build instruments for a living. We used these pieces of metal that had the same burr to do a lot of really fine scraping. And so if you don't have much to remove finish with or something like that, and you don't want to use sandpaper, you can always use that burr. Where was it? There it is. You can always use that burr on just a stamped piece of steel, and it'll take a fair amount of material off, but in a very gentle way that you can't really get with something like sandpaper. And of course, I should be using like a Shinto rasp for this, but I just remembered that this actually does work pretty well. And one of the things I do want to do with this is remove the finish and refinish it. So this is perfect for that, for just removing that finish, and you can hear it just comes right off. I mean, it's like 1 or 2 passes. It's also really good for getting just gunk off of things. So that is something that you can do with these super cheap stamped wrenches. I was going to leave it at that, but I don't like to ever leave anything at that. I'm sure someone will come along and say, oh, well, you know, that's the most wrong tool, da-da-da. But I think really all of woodworking is just using the tools at hand or deciding to buy the most specialized tool for this one operation. And take away those, it's all woodworking. And even though it's not very pretty, it'll be a lot better to hold when I'm cutting this whole situation and this whole situation.